Hey there! Today, I'll be showing you how to complete the Monarch's Journey challenges for Mindaugas of Lithuania. I was gonna make a joke here that I don't know how to pronounce his dynasty name, but 5 seconds of Wikipedia showed me that this isn't even really the dynasty that Mindaugas belonged to, so joke's on me, I guess. As usual, I'm playing with only the DLC that have been made available for free, those being the Old Gods, Sword of Islam, Sons of Abraham, the Reaper's Due, and Horse Lords. The Old Gods is mandatory for attempting this journey because for the first time we have a pagan starting character. All the rest are optional, and I'm going to do my best to provide strategies that don't require them too heavily because they were only available for short temporary periods. On that same note, I regret to inform you that currently you can't complete all of this journey's challenges without buying a DLC. The first challenge, A Christian King, requires you to be the King of Lithuania and fully control its de jure provinces, be Catholic, and be crowned by the Pope. Coronation as a mechanic is exclusive to the Holy Fury DLC, which hasn't been made available for free. But it is what it is, the other 2 challenges are still doable without DLC, and I'll be mostly focusing on those. The second challenge is True Faith. It claims that you need to convert provinces in your realm to Catholicism, but really you just need to have as many Catholic counties as possible. They still count if they were already Catholic when you took over them. 2 for bronze, 6 for silver, and 8 for gold. Finally, writing history. Allegedly, this requires you to construct a great library and build book collection features within it. 2 for bronze, 3 for silver, and 4 for gold. However, the game makes no distinction between building your own library and coming into possession of one that already exists. And it just so happens that the Baghdad House of Wisdom, under the ownership of the Abbasid Caliphate at the start of this challenge, is a pre-generated great library that already comes with 5 book collections. It's certainly tempting to try to appropriate this building rather than spending the money and, more importantly, the real-life time to set up a library of your own. The question then becomes, how does a Lithuanian pagan roll up to the Caliph and take Baghdad away from him? Well, one proud Bavarian showed an effective way of doing so in his speedrun video, through converting to Catholicism almost immediately and ambushing the defending side of the inevitable crusade for Egypt that happens at the beginning of this challenge. By being the top contributor in that crusade and becoming the king of Egypt, you have both the location and the resources to holy war your way across the Arabian Peninsula until you get to Baghdad and can take the library for yourself. It's a good method and very impressive to watch if you want to check out his video, link in the description, but there are 2 problems with it for my purposes. First, when I used the same method, it took me about a dozen times to actually successfully win the crusade as the top contributor. Several times I made legitimate mistakes and just didn't win the crusade, but on other attempts, pure RNG screwed me out of it. One time I died from an infection due to cutting my eye out to convert to Catholicism. It makes sense in context, I swear, and my heir somehow wasn't Catholic, so he got kicked out of the crusade. Another time, the crusade got cancelled because the Shia uprising spawned and overthrew the ruling dynasty of Egypt. One time, the Pope straight up didn't call a crusade, and on several attempts, the Sultan of Rome didn't join the Muslim defenders' side in the crusade, which prevents you from beating up his armies for early contribution points. Eventually, I did pull it off and took Baghdad using that method, but I had to wonder if there was a way that didn't have so many moving parts or require winning a crusade, which is beyond most people's skill set. The other problem is that having enough troops to win that crusade is dependent on getting a loan from the Jews, which is locked behind the Sons of Abraham DLC. Sons of Abraham is fair game for my free DLC run, but I understand that not everybody might have it, so I needed to develop a strategy that isn't dependent on getting that quick influx of cash, and preferably doesn't require crusade abusing either. Here's what you do. Before unpausing, check the court of the Chief of Westrobothia up in Scandinavia. He's the one and only Germanic pagan ruler in this start date, and sometimes he'll have a Germanic woman in his court that you can take as a concubine. If he doesn't have any, don't worry about it. Instead, open the character finder and search for any Germanics who will join your court. The developers made self-insert characters as Easter eggs, and many of those characters happen to be Germanic men. Invite one, give him a piece of land, and wait a bit for him to generate more Germanics in his court. Take one of the women as a concubine, and then you need to save up 250 piety to convert to her religion, and then 1,000 prestige for the next step. It sounds like a lot, and getting to those numbers can be slow going without DLCs, but there's plenty to do while you wait, like start laying the groundwork for the other challenges. If you have Holy Fury and are going for the Christian King challenge, go ahead and county conquest the county of Grodno to your south, and then conquest a county from the Teutonic State in Livonian order that you need to push yourself closer to forming the Kingdom of Lithuania. Truce breaking costs prestige, and we need to save that up for now, so any opportunity you have to take land without breaking truces is what you should go for. If you don't have Holy Fury and can only do the True Faith challenge, take over as many Catholic counties as possible without truce breaking to start adding them to the counter. If you can't wage war against anybody, just raid all your neighbors for extra money. Once you've publicly converted to Germanic and have 1000 prestige, declare a prepared invasion against the Abbasid Caliph and start conserving your troops. Event-spawned soldiers, ships, and commanders will begin appearing over the course of the next 2 years. Your troops will also be pretty low quality, so if you have the cash and enough boats, hiring mercenaries can't hurt either. You won't really need a lot of money for anything else in this challenge, so you might as well invest in making this war easy for yourself. Before the 2-year anniversary of your prepared invasion announcement, declare the prepared invasion of Iraq and start sending your troops down there. The boats can't take you all the way to the coast of the Abbasids' land. The closest you can get is landing around Jerusalem and walking the rest of the way. You'll start taking attrition, so as soon as you reach Abbasid lands, prioritize sieging down one of their holdings so that you can begin a supply chain. The Abbasids are a shell of their former selves at this point in history, so they shouldn't put up too much of a fight unless they got some BS alliances. Make sure to siege down Baghdad so that you personally take it when the war is over. Give the game a bit after the war to process your new library, and writing history should be complete. Holding on to any of the land you just conquered is unnecessary at this point. If it falls to rebellions or outside attack, I wouldn't worry about it. Dissolve your troops, return your focus to Lithuania, and begin working on the other challenges. True faith, like I mentioned, doesn't require you to convert counties to Catholicism yourself. Conquering majority Catholic lands counts all the same. It's actually probably quicker. Use the religion map to locate the closest counties that are Catholic, and once you're able to get 8 of them within your realm, that challenge will be ticked off as well. Coincidentally, many of those counties will be under the ownership of 2 holy orders neighboring you, the Teutonic State to the west and the Livonian Order to the northeast. If you have Holy Fury and want to complete a Christian king, these are your 2 big enemies throughout the playthrough. Whatever you do, don't convert to Catholicism until you're done removing these holy orders from the de jure borders of the Kingdom of Lithuania. If you're Catholic, you can't even perform de jure wars against Catholic holy orders, so take away their land piece by piece with county conquest, and after you get enough to form Lithuania, de jure wars. Aside from the holy orders and the county of Grodno, the only other occupied land in Lithuania is a fellow Romuva duchy in Skalvia. You can de jure war them after you form the kingdom, or wait until you're done fighting the Christians, convert to Catholicism by right-clicking the crest of a Catholic county in your domain, and holy war for Skalvia. When you're done cleaning up the de jure borders of your kingdom, the last step is getting crowned by the Pope. Keep in mind that he can't be in hiding, at war, or otherwise occupied to crown you, and he'll always ask for a favor first. If you're lucky, he'll just want money. If you're unlucky, he'll make you go wage a long, drawn-out war to beat up somebody he doesn't like. You can refuse his demands and try to set up the coronation again later to re-roll, but a better option is to preemptively change your crown law to free investiture. This really grinds the Pope's gears, and he's practically guaranteed to ask you to change it to papal investiture as the favor before he'll crown you. Changing that is as easy as the press of a button, and when the coronation ceremony is over, you should have the Christian King challenge complete. Thanks for watching this video, and thanks to OPB for shouting out my little channel in his Mindaugas video. In the description, I've left a link to his speedrun video, a link to getting the Old Gods DLC for free from Paradox so that you can play this Monarch's journey, and a list of the cosmetic mods I'm using in this video if you are curious. Feel free to comment any other strategies you found for the Lithuania journey, or anything wild that happened to you while hunting these challenges. As always, I'll see you next time.